皆さん、
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you hear from Mr. Tomoyama and also from Mr. Miyakawa regarding the business business description, and also what was the opportunity that both of us start discussing about this business, also explained by them. In the beginning, it was the discussion between the young generations. And the first I heard about this, I thought that, is this real? I was a bit surprised to hear that. That is my honest answer for that. And also, back then, now it's time. That's another thought that I had back then. What I mean is that the trend is coming in natural way to this direction, I believe. It is very exciting. I'm very happy to have this conference because having a partner with Toyota, the world famous company, and now that we can start this joint venture, just thinking about this just make me excited. And how can we bring our vision together, and also what we are going to aim for? That's from the big picture wise that I would like to explain from myself today. So mobility. There has been used these words regarding Mars platform and so on. Originally speaking, human has evolved through mobility. By making people moving, there are new encounter, new productivity, and also new society will be up and running. On top of that, recently, AI, as the biggest revolution in human history that is occurring, and we, SoftBank, has been focusing on this recently. AI, we believe, will be redefining all industries. Under such circumstance, the #1 mobility company, Toyota, and also SoftBank, who focus on AI a lot, those two companies of us, by partnering together, we believe that we'll be able to drive a new mobility in the world, which is totally different and totally new, evolved mobility will be able to bring together. As a SoftBank, we have a cluster of #1 AI strategy. That's the new keywords for our group strategy. Especially, mobility is very much focused. So that the cluster of #1 mobility AI strategy, we have established the SoftBank Vision Fund with $100 billion, and we've been making a lot of investment, but especially this mobility area or the AI-related business is very much focused by this fund. As you can see from here, for example, if you look at ride-sharing Uber, Didi, Grab, Ola, those companies that we have invested as a major shareholder in developing the business together. We almost meet every month's basis in various occasions and talk about the future strategies and so on. In addition, in logistics area, we have invested rideshare of truck version business, and in China, this company actually taking over 90% of market share. #1, the company called Full Truck Alliance, that we are also trying to develop a further business with this company, and SoftBank became the major shareholder of this company. For the autonomous driving, as already announced, we have invested GM Cruise, investing in about 20%. And also, cloud-side AI is another focus. And NVIDIA, we became shareholder of this company. And with Jensen, the founder of this company, that we've been sharing lots of vision together and exploring the new world with AI. Light, Naoto, there are so many companies that we've been investing. So with each cluster, can collaborate each other and create the new synergy and development. That's something that we are aiming for, especially when it comes to ride sharing. These 4 companies, we believe they are taking about 90% of market share around the world in ride sharing business. That's how I believe, or how I understand. Number of rides in the world, about 90% of the number of rides is actually taken by these 4 companies. I believe autonomous driving, once this becomes a commercial, I assume that the several tens of millions of yen can be the cost for this car. This is the kind of supercomputers of the car version, so that even the local cars owns or mounted with a lot of chip with the supercomputers like NVIDIA or ARM. Those are the companies actually mounting such chip in the cars, automobiles, and at the same time communicate with clouds. In that case, actually the price for the automobiles will be more expensive than the general cars per unit. And such an expensive car, what kind of customer can be buying such a car? I believe normal retail customers is not really the first target, but rather commercial use, a professional driver who actually drives about 20 times more distance compared to the normal customers will be the target for this autonomous driving market. From that sense, our family companies are actually, from our assumption, that are taking a 90% of market share, and they are the biggest customer for the autonomous driving, can be a very good meaning for our direction. With those total of those 4 companies, GMB of such 4 companies, as you can see, that are growing dramatically, and now they're coming close to the 10 trillion Japanese yen. In the coming few years, within less than 10 years, I believe, we will be able to exceed the current GMB of Amazon. That's the size that we're expecting for the growth of these businesses. So it is making a dramatic growth now. So these companies actually utilizing AI. So in Japan, that there is a word saying dispatching applications, but this is actually misleading from my understanding. Dispatching looks like just one simple application for a smartphone, just calling for taxi. And that's, you may understand from that word, but actually that's underestimating what this service can do. We believe these companies actually providing mobility platform. And at the same time, they are taking a big advantage of AI and providing such a service platform. So using a heat map and predict the future demands so that they can supply appropriately. And at the same time, with the dynamic pricing, that we'll be able to change the price based on the demand. And also always, every 15 minutes, within 100 meters square, how many cars are lacking, or how many people is asking for the cars, how many cars are actually redundant, so that we'll be able to distribute the most car to the most appropriate destination, so that we always predict where customers can be waiting for the car. And at the same time, for the logistics, as I mentioned earlier, in truck version, we are also utilizing AI, building heat map, and also introducing the dispatching of the trucks. Why are we doing this business? Why are we focusing on this autonomous driving? Because 1.25 million people are actually dying due to the traffic accident. And I believe once we come to this autonomous driving world, we will no more see the death in traffic accident. We have already invested in Cruise, and we have been working on the autonomous driving in this company. And this time with the partnership with Toyota. And many technologies for the autonomous driving developed by Toyota will be utilized for this time company service. Image recognitions, AIs, actually we have NVIDIA, and also spatial or perception technology, we have Light. And also we have ARM in our group, and this actually have a dedicated chip in the automobile industry and have announced recently. And we believe this chip and technology is going to be mounted on automobiles one after another to accelerate the autonomous driving. And to do such a service, map is going to be very important. So the map for the autonomous driving, Mapbox, and for the e-commerce, Auto One, or in a lease and rental area, which Toyota has already invested in, Getaround. On top of that, we have a company called Fair invested, and in the car insurance area that we have John Ann's Insurance and Policy Bazaar. So with those companies, we are creating a cluster of #1 strategy, and also Uber, which Toyota has invested in, and also Grab that the Toyota has invested in, that with this cluster that we believe collaborating each other, mobility and AI added up, then we believe Toyota has already became #1 in the world in mobility area, and also in AI area, that was by means of cluster of AI companies. We believe SoftBank is becoming better positions in such a segment and areas, so that we, with this partnership announcement with Toyota Monet Technologies, we believe that we will be able to take on this is the first step for both of us, and we expect to come to the second stage and third stage so that we can have a deeper and a wider partnership with Toyota. That's something that I will be looking forward to see. And thinking about that future, that makes me even more excited. That is all from myself. Thank you.
Now at this juncture, I would like to invite Mr. Toyoda to the stage. Mr. Toyoda, please. Thank you very much for sharing the stage with me. Thank you very much for exciting speech.